Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Just make sure that my microphone is working well so I can be heard. Yep. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Right, let's get into this one. Joshua versus Usyk, the press conference. But before I even go into that, we have breaking news from yesterday's interview with former trainer of Mike Tyson, current trainer of WBA heavyweight champion Trevor Bryant. Yes, none other than Stacey McKinley, trainer of 35 world champions, a heavyweight specialist out in America. And he tells me that Mike Tyson has signed to fight Lennox Lewis. The contract is an exhibition bout, and it will be in November 2021. That's what he said in the interview. So Lewis Tyson 2 coming to, I believe, Triller in November. So that's the news that's kind of breaking. It's probably going to break, and then you'll probably hear about it afterwards if it is going to happen. But, you know, you never know with this boxing world. And he told me as well that obviously Rick Bowles pulled out of his fight with Lamar Odom because I think there was some miscommunication, but Bo obviously saw what happened to Holyfield. And according to Stacey McKinley, neither Bo nor Holyfield should have been in the ring. He says that Evander Holyfield, he stumbling around, walking around. So his situation is pretty bad, Evander. So, yeah, feel free to make your comments tonight, by the way. This is open. It's for other shows I've done, which has been members only. So, I'm going to talk about that dreadful press conference between Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Yes, compare, contrast from Canelo versus Caleb Plant. That's very different. I'll get into that a second, but I'll definitely answer you in a minute, James. Yeah, a bit different from Canelo and Caleb Plant slapping one another. And now I hear that fight could potentially be postponed. That fight could potentially be postponed because of the fact that the slap that Canelo put on Plant has left on the left side of him has injured himself. So that isn't great news. It's not fantastic news at all. So yeah. That's not really great. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get into the first question of the evening. And it's James. He says, good afternoon, Ingram. Good afternoon, good evening. Depends where you are in the world, James. Where are you in the world? Thought about a 20-foot ring. Well, that's definitely Anthony Joshua. I hope that this time Team Usyk are actually going to allow Usyk to see the ring before he gets in the ring. Because obviously, that Usyk was in London or he was in England. He only found out about the size of the ring on the way to the ring. Well, that's what he told the Ukrainian public afterwards. So I hope that his team are a bit more professional and allow their fighters to see the ring beforehand. It's clear, it's obvious. Joshua is the champion, and he would have asked for a small ring. And you can see why he's so confident, because he's going to not allow Usyk to move around the ring and do what Usyk normally does. So Usyk is great at, like I said before, he's great at distance fighting. The Ukrainian style, the Eastern European style, long, tall, like use their arms and keep distance and not engage. They like that. Hit and not get hit business. So you need to be a real dog in there. So when Joshua gets in there and he hits him with double jab and pushes Usyk back to ropes, naturally Usyk's back is going to be against the ropes. So he doesn't have to chase Usyk. He's not going to have to spend all the time running around the ring to chase Usyk. Imagine it's a 30-foot ring now. That doesn't help Joshua. A big guy chasing a guy like who's got better footwork, Usyk, around the ring. So they learned from the Chisora fight and thought, right, saw how your movement was against Chisora. You're going to be a bit heavier. Right, so what I'm going to do now is make sure your ass can't move around the ring like he did against Chisora. I'll make sure you don't move anywhere. So I put a double jab on you, or I put a jab on you and push you back. Your back automatically touches ropes, and I can start slinging in body shots at you. So it closes the lines of engagement and forces Usyk to have to fight. Yeah. So, but I guess in the contract, Usyk and team would have known about the ring, or unless they haven't told Usyk that, which again would be unprofessional from them. So Usyk must know that he's training on a small ring. But Usyk has no inside game, absolutely no inside game. And he's not defensively He's not defensively great. He gets hit, and he's been getting hit a lot more since he's left Bashir, because Bashir teaches defensive responsibility. He teaches you to hit and not get hit. Since he's left Bashir, Usyk's been using his chin and stopping shots with his chin and trading more. So there we go. Guys, here Usyk will fight in the pocket anyway. I believe Usyk's punch resistance is underestimated. Salute. His punch resistance is underestimated. Well, Uncle Bashir would know about Usyk's punch resistance. That's all I'm going to say to you about that one. You need to go and listen to the interview. Salute, says Bob Sanders. I've got Joshua to win a controversial decision. Well, I'll tell you something now. If Usyk gets hit with one of them big uppercuts, if Joshua's able to land one of them big uppercuts, yeah, I think Usyk's going to be in some trouble. But we'll see. We'll see. It's hearsay at the moment, isn't it? But I do want to talk about one thing. Anthony Joshua has been promoted once again. The last time I talked about Anthony Joshua, I said Anthony Joshua was... Well, before we talk about Joshua, let's talk about Usyk turn up as the Joker. He's turned up dressed as the Joker. Let's have it right. He's dressed like the Joker. And he looks a cross between the Joker and Charles Bronson. That's what Usyk looks like. He looks, and... but I can't say anything. Chisora wobbled Usyk. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Usyk's punches is underestimated, yeah? We'll see how underestimated it is when he gets hit by Joshua. We'll see. The first clean shot that Joshua hits Usyk with, we're going to know right there where this fight is going. Because, and I'm calling it now already, when Kubrat Pulev got hit with a right hand from Joshua, he wanted to run outside the ring. That's an experienced heavyweight. And he got hit so hard, he was looking to run literally outside the ring. That's how hard he got hit by Joshua. And if you look at Usyk, that first round, when he fought Witherspoon, I always go back to that fight. Go back to that first round. And he got hit by Witherspoon. And Witherspoon's not known as a devastating puncher. And Witherspoon didn't come with the ambition to win. And when Usyk got hit by Witherspoon, remember, as soon as he got hit, he didn't like any of it. And it's stuff like that I really take into consideration. Do you think of Usyk? Of course, Usyk's an Olympic gold medalist. He's an undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's a good fighter. I just don't know if he's good enough to beat Joshua. There are question marks. Now, the weight is an issue for me. What weight does Usyk come in? Is he going to come in 215, 218, 220? Or is he going to come in 240? So we'll see. It goes here. Can Big Josh, the man from Watford, deliver the ramrod jab with the cracking right hand? Adam Smith. Can he do it? It's make or break for Joshua tonight. The man from Watford. Mouth-watering stuff. It's the end of the road for Anthony Joshua if he loses tonight. Oh, what about Oleksandr Usyk? What a masterful performance. Oh, dear. You know it's coming from Adam Smith. Oh, and Joshua's in trouble. Joshua is in trouble. So Usyk's been knocked down in sparring, you say? Fair enough. Listen to the interviews with Uncle Bashir. I think that would be good for you to listen to those interviews. But then I hear things that you, the public, don't hear. So I've got a little bit more insight in some things, and not in an arrogant sense. It's just that there's some things a trainer can say to me, they certainly can't say to the public. You understand? That's as much as I'll say in that one. What happens if the fight ends up a draw? Bang. Joshua retains his title. He says here, best conference I've ever seen. Right, now let's talk about that garbage press conference. Now, first of all, the last time I talked about Anthony Joshua, I called him Professor Joshua. Because he talked about science and going back to school. But now we're going one step further. Joshua doesn't want to be a professor no more. He wants to be president. He wants to be president of boxing. I've never heard somebody talk so much garbage in my life. A world heavyweight champion sat there and he gave one of the weakest press conferences I have ever known for a heavyweight champion. In fact, I felt so embarrassed that this man is the heavyweight champion of the world and, he's carrying himself with such class and such dignity. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders and all this bullshit. Pardon my French. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. Okay? He's not a politician. He's not an actor. Yes, a lot of people are tuning in to see him. And yes, he's a role model. And yes, he's a brand. But people still want a winner. People still love a winner. But this guy is sitting there talking Oscars. He's talking at the Oscars. He's talking like, yeah, I want to thank you for turning up. Yeah, I want to thank you because it's I'm still in training camp. I'm still in training camp. And I've been practicing. He doesn't even know who he's fighting. He said, yeah, I've been training for a right-hander. Bro, you're fighting a left-hander. Oleksandr Usyk is left-handed. He's a south. Been practicing, and I'm practicing, and I'm practicing this, and it's my job, And he's come for he's come to work. It's his job, and I've come to work, and it's my job. I'm grateful. And if it was me, I wouldn't want to face me. And I'm great, and I'm feeling fantastic. I've never heard so much garbage in my absolute life. What I want to see from Anthony Joshua is turn to Usyk. Look at him. And listen, Usyk's playing the same game. Oleksandr Usyk is playing the same game that Canelo used to play years ago, which is, I don't understand English. Listen to me. I did an interview with Usyk on this channel with Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk speaks perfect English, but he's playing the game. He's playing you all like mugs. I just want to thank Oleksandr Usyk and his team. And I like Ukrainian boxing. I like the way they style. And what the hell? You're a DJ? You're a DJ? Yeah. You arts connoisseur, or you're the freaking heavyweight champion of the world? Oh my gosh! What I want to see from my heavyweight champion of the world is to turn around and say, listen, let me tell you something now. Let me tell you something right now. I don't care how many balls you can get thrown up in the air. And I don't care if you can throw your own balls up in the air. I don't care. You see you, Saturday night, you're getting it. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear from the heavyweight champion of the world. That's what I want to hear from the heavyweight champion of the world. You see you,
You see you and your clown suit. I'm going to send you and your team back to Ukraine with no belt. You see you, you're getting it proper. That's what I want to hear from Joshua. You're getting it proper. You're getting knocked out. Look at me. You are getting knocked out. You see how he was with Dominic Brazil? That's the Joshua I want to see with Usyk. Yeah, he wasn't even. Joshua wasn't even talking that way with Ruiz. He was giving Ruiz the belt in the first fight. It was giving Ruiz the belt. He was handing the belt over to Ruiz. But that's just my way of doing things. What? That's why you got your ass knocked out. And he's gone with this garbage again, talking. And you know what? Joshua is becoming like Rob McCracken. Rob McCracken is boring as hell to listen to, right? I'm not knocking Rob McCracken for what he's done as a trainer, but my God, he's boring to listen to. So, Rob, how's training camp going? Yeah, we've been working a few things with me and Big Josh. I'm very excited to work with Josh, and we are. We're working some things. Usyk's an excellent fighter. He's Olympic gold medalist, undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. Yeah, he's really tough opposition. And you got Joshua right beside him going, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. I'd like to thank you all. I'd like to thank your dog and your cat. Thank you very much. Yeah, nice roses over there. Yeah, the old lady makes tea. Thank you very much for her as well. What the hell is that? Even Franklin Roy Bruno gave you more entertaining press conferences. I'm going to knock Mike Tyson out. I'm going to knock Mike Tyson out into Don King's lap. There's no way he's going to beat me. No way. At least Frank gave you box office. This geezer he can put a glass eye to sleep. I'm telling you. And I know. And the thing about Joshua is, inside he's not like that. If Joshua just kept it real, the man from the ends, if he was just that man and just kept it that way, forget Eddie Hearn, forget Rob McCracken's nonsense, and actually was just him, if he was just himself, then I think he could have roughed up Usyk. Usyk needs roughing up, man. Usyk needs roughing up. He needs to be told what time of day it is. No. Forget the talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. Talk ain't cheap, bro. Talk ain't cheap. That's nonsense. Talk is cheap. That's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Only somebody who... It's the same thing that people say, when you get punched in the mouth, you're going to revert to what you did before. That's not everybody. Listen, there are doors you come through in boxing, right? If you've been knocked out in boxing, that's a door. You get knocked out. You might not come back the same fighter again. So when you get hit with a shot, you revert back to the way you were. That happens. That's psychological. But that's not everybody. Because in that case, then, Manny Pacquiao, when he got knocked out by one Marquez, he shouldn't have boxed again, based on some of the crap that some people say. So boxing talk ain't cheap all the time. If you're a man that delivers the goods, if you're a man that backs it up, how can talk be cheap? So in that case, in Tyson Fury, talk is cheap because he puts it on. So I don't get it. I don't understand it for 1 second. That's so talk is cheap. I don't buy that for 1 second. Let's listen to some of the people in the room. Let's see here. Cruiserweights and light heavyweights is the same thing in boxing. No, it's not. Cruiserweights and light heavyweights are not the same thing in boxing. Clearly not. A cruiserweight could box at heavyweight. A light heavyweight might not make heavyweight. How many light heavyweights you know that regularly go up to heavyweight and fight? But there's lots of cruiserweights that move up to heavyweight and fight. I'm in military mode. You know what I mean? So what does the press conference tell you? He's doubting himself. Usyk is not a loser. Yeah, absolutely. He might well be doubting himself. You've got fighters fighting patterns. I'll always say it before, fighters fighting patterns. And I don't see that Joshua that was squaring up to Dominic Brazil. I don't see that Joshua. You understand? I don't see that guy. Now, I don't know if he feels that confident that he doesn't need to do that, or is that concerned that he's still training on Monday. I don't know. But why do we need to know that you're training on Monday? Why do we need to know? If you're so confident, why do we need to know you're training? Oh, well, it's not my business. I'm not coming to see you Monday train. So why do I need to know you're training? Too much information. Didn't bother to watch, but will now. Yeah, I think you should, my friend. I think you should. Eugene, yeah, you're watching. What did you think of the press conference? What's Joshua's background? He seems to have an issue keeping the hunger going as if he came from the middle class. Yeah, that is something that's very interesting. But you do wonder if it's one of two things, whether he's caught between being this nice guy and for his image and his brand. Because Usyk, you got to remember, Joshua is a brand. He doesn't own himself. He's a slave to his brand. So his brand is stay humble. His brand is, making sure that, the young people look up to him and he's an ambassador of the sport. So, yeah, that's what I see it as being. Gareth Days made a great Gareth Days made a great point. Open questions for the press and public. Okay. Joshua was born in the middle class estate. His parents have money. This runs deeper than boxing, in my opinion. Too many handles controlling him. That's what I've said. I've said that before. And I'm glad you've hit the nail on the head there. Joshua is, as far as I'm concerned, a brand. A brand. Mayweather's different. And you see Canelo? Watch Canelo. You see Canelo. I told you years ago that Canelo was playing the game. And that when people were talking about Canelo and Canelo was saying he couldn't understand English, I knew Canelo could speak damn good English. And you listen to him now. You listen to him in interviews now. So all that time he was playing the game, he didn't know what was going on. He was hearing everything, and Usyk can hear everything that's been said. It's just the game he's playing. Ricardo Martinez, good to see you. Have you heard about Victor Conte getting exposed? Well, wasn't Victor Conte getting exposed before? I think he got exposed quite a few times, Victor Conte, and his fighters. That's what I understand. But it wasn't the first time about Victor Conte, though. Who's become a member? Let's see who's become a member. Somebody's become a member. Mr. Pemberton, good to see you in the room. Thank you very much once again for your super chats. And we're still going to keep an eye on what's going on with your boxing and your comeback. I'm really still looking forward to it. I'm very interested. I do know who Victor Conte is. Worked with a series of fighters, and he had isn't it? Is it AMC? Snack. That's it. Conte had snack. The drink. I didn't watch Ingram. Drowning in work. Came here to catch up before bed. Okay, no worries. I'm now a proud member. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yep, there you go. Yes, his snack drink fight is test positive. Snack's Jimmy suspect. But he's always been suspect, that snack. Always been suspect. But the thing is, you talk about this guy's been suspect. Suspect now? Or always been suspect and not paying the fees anymore? As if you're not paying the fees, then people out you, It's a way of it. It's a way off yet. Don't worry, you'll be the first to know. Thank you very much. Why do you think Usyk pretends he can't understand? How does this benefit him? Because, like I mentioned before, you might be new to the channel, Reese, and if you are, welcome to the channel. Due to my relationship with Oleksandr, with James Elliott Bashir, he was the trainer of Oleksandr Usyk for over 3 years. So this channel followed Usyk behind the scenes, and we Usyk live on a number of occasions on this channel. And I spoke to Usyk directly, no damn translator, talked to the man straight to his face. So he's playing the game like Canelo played the game. That's what's happened. They're playing the game. Would you train Steve Pemberton? He's got work ethic. Yeah, I would, but logistics might be a problem. Always has been. That's what I'm saying. So that, these things that are coming out now, and people have been getting away for so long. You just wonder. Exactly my point. A lot of fighters in snack, but it's not just those fighters. There's other gyms around that are quite suspect as well. Usyk looked nervous. AJ could finish it early. I don't see Usyk being that kind of nervous type that way. But if he starts slow, he could have a problem. Who have you picked? Have you picked who's going to win yet? No, I haven't, because I want to see Oleksandr Usyk's weight. I think that's key, because Oleksandr Usyk's weight is 217. He's lied to Joshua, and Joshua's dropped weight. Yeah, so I want to know where Usyk's weight is. Now I know the size of the ring is 20-foot ring. Yeah, so now I want to know. Obviously, that's going to suit Joshua, because, like I said, he doubles the jab up. Now, please, I beg you all, 2 interviews for you to look at. We've done for our members, but you can see it as well. Interview with James Elabashir, 52 years experience, 52 years of boxing experience, yeah? Former trainer of Oleksandr Usyk, led him to the WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the world, has been and worked with the likes of Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Vladimir Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, Shannon Briggs, currently training the unbeaten Ukrainian Vlad Serenka, 18-0. Vlad Serenka is scheduled to face Joan Dupas in France in November, so I understand. Check that interview out, because Bashir breaks down. He gives it. There's 2 interviews I did. The first interview does the breakdown of the fight and gives his prediction, exclusive. Nobody else has got that. And then the second interview I did was left-handed fighters versus right-handed fighters, how they work and how you break down a left-handed fighter, southpaw fighter, how you break down a right-handed fighter fighting from southpaw. A really interesting interview. If you're a boxing fan, please do get to listen to that interview. It is so insightful. And then the interview I did last night, wow, that was with Mike Tyson's former trainer, Stacey McKinley. Okay, and Stacey talked about Joshua and what is missing from Anthony Joshua and what he would have had he come to America. And I've alluded to that a lot in my conversations with people say that I hate Anthony Joshua. It's not that I hate Anthony Joshua. It's that I think he could do so much better away from England. In the interview with both Bashir and Stacey McKinley, who trains now the WBA heavyweight champion, Trevor Bryan, both of those guys are heavyweight specialists. McKinley has 35 years in boxing, 35 world champions, 35 world champions he's had. So really, those are 2 guys, interviews you need to listen to. Told me that Tyson and Lewis, the exhibition bout is going to happen in November. The contract's already signed. He says he doesn't think very much of Porter versus Crawford. Broke down the Tyson Fury fight of Deontay Wilder. And he explained to you about the whole thing about doors in boxing when a guy gets knocked out or he gets beaten. So interviews for you all to listen to. Really good interviews with top quality trainers. Not my opinion or Joe Blogg's opinion, who's never boxed before. Not that that matters, but you've got world-class trainers with world-class knowledge. You can't beat that. So those interviews are for you guys and girls to listen to. So please listen to those interviews and then come to your conclusion about Joshua versus Usyk. So, yeah. Let's see what's going on here. So I haven't picked anyone. It's the weight. Have I seen the Victor Conte documentary? Not yet, but I will do now. You're talking about it. Oh, yes. Sorry. I did say that. Right. Thank you for the explanation. You're more than welcome. I understand the new people to the channel. So, yeah, there's years of information with James Elabashir. Those people who are more up with the channel will know that Uncle Bashir has been in the channel since 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. But that's 8 years of having that sort of quality on the channel in James Elabashir. So we love you, Uncle, for that. Yeah, Usyk is like a Chinese person in trouble with the police. No English, I don't understand. Yep, that's about right. He understands everything that's been said. But I'm so I'm so hoping he beats the sellout. Wow. What's your opinions on TUES? The one you're talking about is doing one. Should it be allowed? TUES. What is TUES, please? Louis Ortiz can speak English as well. Is he just pretending that he can't? I don't know about that one. Louis Ortiz must speak good English because he talks to Deontay Wilder and he's in Miami. So he must talk to Deontay Wilder, and they've got their good relationship they have. So I can't imagine Louis Ortiz looking at Deontay Wilder. I think they've got their daughters have got because connection via their daughters both, I believe. So I think that's where the connection is, or something like that. Do you think Usyk was playing possibly with Witherspoon Chisora fights? No, I don't believe that. I do not believe that BS for 1 second, right? Check this out. You are in a mandatory position. Are you trying to convince me that in this day and age of boxing, that going to points Derek Chisora is of benefit to you? Surely if you knock out Derek Chisora, there's less trauma on your body, less miles on the clock, more adulation, more support for you, less doubters, and you're going to get your mandatory shot with Joshua anyway. So, no, that don't make sense. That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense. I just think that Usyk at heavyweight is struggling a bit more, but he's finding it more difficult because he's heavyweight. And he's fighting against guys who are physically bigger and stronger. And I just think that a style like Derek Chisora, remember, according to a lot of you out there, I'm talking to you out there, Usyk was meant to put on a masterclass against Derek Chisora. We didn't see it. He was meant to put on a masterclass against Bellew. I didn't see no masterclass. You really know masterclass is Mayweather Canelo. That's a masterclass. That's a masterclass. Getting knocked down twice in a fight is not a masterclass. You might box well, but it's not a masterclass. Therapeutic uses exempt Ingram. Oh wow. I'd have to know more about it to comment. GG used to translate when he couldn't be bothered to do an interview with me. Joy Phelps. Of course. Yeah, he can speak English. He's another one who can speak well as well. I'm not saying he was. Just to me, he didn't look impressive. Hence, I thought it could be a trap to learn the bigger guns. Yeah, well, I think Tyson Fury came out with that stuff, but Tyson Fury talks out the side of his mouth. So today, Tyson Fury say Usyk is not big enough. He's Susie weight. And then tomorrow he talked to Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury tell you Usyk's big enough. He's a talented heavyweight. He can beat Anthony Joshua. So depending on what day you get Tyson Fury, you can say anything. Speaking to people like her anyway is a chore, BG. Those channels are draining. Oh, Michelle. Listen, I got a lot of love for Michelle. I got a lot of love for her. The sit down Michelle Joy Phelps. Not so much the one in front of the camera, but when you sit down and you talk with Michelle Joy Phelps, she's a great lass. And she's great to talk to, very real. I remember Michelle Joy Phelps before she did boxing, when she was still doing swimsuit wear. She was modeling. And I spoke to Michelle via Twitter, and we were talking for a long time back and forth. I said to her, you know what? She said she wanted to get into boxing. I said, you know what? You'd actually do quite well in boxing. I think, a good-looking girl. If you do your research, you'd do well. Look where she is today. I'm sick to death of Fury. Just doesn't fight regular ever. Well, I think one or two things that happen after the Wilder fight. He's either going to get a whole load of more fans, or he's going to continue sliding down the slippery path of losing fans and losing support, because he said a lot of things he shouldn't have said. Like, he turned around, how can you one day be telling the public that you're going to be fighting Joshua when you damn well know you're in arbitration? You damn well know you're in arbitration. And you said you were off the phone from the Saudis, and then the next day it's come out the arbitration decision. The hell is that crap? I don't know. So I don't like the mindset of Anthony Joshua in this fight. I've never liked the way he's kind of walking around, lording the manner like he hasn't got a fight coming up. I don't know if he's trying to show that he's not bothered. I don't know if he's trying to show he's not scared. I don't know if he's trying to show that he's cool and he's relaxed and composed. I don't know if it's them things. I don't know. But he's not convincing me. So I hope and I pray that Anthony Joshua has got it together and he is like a coil. Like, you know, when you almost like a rubber band, you pull the rubber band back. I hope that's what's going on with him. And then come fight night, he's going to literally go, boom. I hope so. I pray so. And I hope that Joshua hasn't become... I hope he hasn't got 1 foot already in retirement. Do you know what I mean by that? Mentally. Because I don't like what I'm seeing of him. I don't like the mindset at all. So, for me, he needs to put on a career best performance. He needs to knock Oleksandr Usyk out. Like I said before, and I'll keep on saying this. First round needs to go out, take the center ring, take charge against Usyk, and crack him with the first big right hand on the chin, down the pipe, and say, you know what? Welcome to the heavyweight division. I'm not Derek Chisora. I'm not Chaz Witherspoon. I'm a premier heavyweight. I'm the elite heavyweight. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. And you have no business being in this ring, in this country, fighting me. That sort of kingship is what I want to see from Anthony Joshua. I haven't seen it yet. And when I used to watch guys like Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, when you look at those guys, there was a kingship about them when they were heavyweight champions. There was, you know, when the heavyweight champion entered the ring, you knew the champ was arriving. And it wasn't about glitz and glamour. There was a presence. This guy meant business. You know, with Holyfield, it's business. You know, with Bowe, you know, if you talk to Bowe the wrong way, he's going to punch you in the mouth, ask Larry Donald. You know, Mike Tyson, you know what Mike's like. He's electric. You know what Mike is about. You know, Lennox Lewis, he could turn like a switch. You see Lennox, what he did against Andrew Golota. It's that sort of performance, a Golota type performance, is what Anthony Joshua needs to do against Usyk. And if he does that and he blows Usyk away in the first couple of rounds, now the bad thing or the bad news for boxing fans who are fans of Anthony Joshua is that he's never actually knocked out a top heavyweight inside the first 4 rounds or the first 5 rounds. He hasn't done it. So when I spoke to Stacey McKinley in the interview, he also talked about Joshua not punching correctly. He doesn't know how to throw right hands correctly. Go back and listen to that interview and you'll hear for yourself. Stefan, good to see you in the room, my friend, my brother. Yes, and good evening to the members as well. Interesting. A few of my mates are picking Usyk to stop him late. Okay. A 20-foot ring. Is Usyk going to be around late? When you're saying like Usyk stopping Joshua late, is he going to be around late? Is he going to be able to take the power? You've got an intriguing fight, Carl. The vaunted man from Ukraine is quite an enigma. He plays chess in his free time. He's got a box of stamps at home. He's really a good person. Adam Smith. Oh, Lord. Surely you prefer Usyk winning. I don't really have to read on Usyk personality-wise, but some gut tells me a much nicer bloke than a politically correct professor. He's not a professor now, he's president. Oh, it's 20 foot. That changes everything. When you got a 30-foot ring, you've got room to maneuver, to move around and stuff. You can skate around the ring. There's no skating around the ring. 20-foot ring. 20-foot ring. Jeez. Joshua's confidence is fragile. He knows his chin is suspect. Well, yeah, that is it. That's like the big elephant in the room. Hit him on the chin, and he'll just stand there like Bruno and just suddenly malfunction. Good weight for Usyk tomorrow. No more than 220, 219, 220. Good weight. How do I see the fight playing out? I feel Joshua's going to come out fast. He's going to come out fast behind a double jab. I think he's going to try and force Usyk back to the ropes because that's where Usyk is vulnerable. He's back against the ropes. And I think he's going to try and keep Usyk there. He's going to try and physically bully Usyk, I think. I hope to God he doesn't try and box Usyk like he boxed Ruiz. I hope he doesn't. I hope he gets as close to Ruiz as possible, to Usyk as possible, as close to him as possible, and just stay in the pocket there. Keep Usyk on the ropes and just whack the body. And oh, by the way, these people saying about Usyk winning the fight late on. Did you watch his stamina against Chisora? He doesn't look like a guy to me that in the heavyweight division, his stamina is the greatest. He looked gassed against Chisora. That's why he couldn't stop Chisora in the fight. He hurt Chisora badly in around the 7th or 8th round, but he couldn't finish Chisora off because he was knackered. That's because of the constant moving all the time. Will Joshua be leaving his body exposed? Paranoia about the left hook to the head will be paramount. Yeah. Well, it won't be the left hook to the head. It'll be straight left. That's my concern for Joshua, getting hit with that straight left hand down the pipe. Boom. Straight down the pipe. And he's doing this rubbish. When he's doing this, I could just see straight left hands hitting him. There. That's where I see Joshua getting hit. Military mindset, soldier to professor to president. What's next? Flower Ranger. Now I think it's state president of boxing. Anyone know the size of the ring was for Usyk Chisora fight? You can check that out. I think it's on. You might find that out on. You might find that out on Google. But I think it's absolutely essential that Joshua cuts a nice guy. The other thing is, Joshua may be doing the old Klitschko trick. Klitschko used to make everybody feel at home. He's very nice to everybody. He looked after the fight as well. And then come fight night and he got in the ring. He was an absolute animal. There's Vladimir and Vitaly. This is one of their tricks they did. They soften the opponent up. And you wouldn't see them coming. And then come fight night, there's a few fighters that said, the American fighters that said, Klitschko's are really nice. Nice hotel for us. Good food. They treated us like kings. And then they got in the ring and then they beat the crap out of us. That's what the Klitschkos did. So maybe Joshua is doing the old, I'm going to be nice to you now and I'm going to beat the crap out of you Saturday night. I hope that's the case. Anybody's thoughts on Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis in November? According to Stacey McKinley, the trainer of Mike Tyson, he says that this fight is going to happen in November. The contracts have already been signed. Check that out as well. Vladimir jab 1-2 hold. And remember, Emmanuel was begging him to knock out Eddie Chambers. He eventually did. Yes. Ike was the president. Come on, Ingram. Don't dishonor the real presidente. Rematch clause against mandatories. Well, we are at rematch room, not match room, rematch room. Remember, that's what it is. So, but Eddie's face if Joshua loses. Imagine you sign a brand new contract with a guy who just gets beat. What a way to start a new contract, eh? And depending on how Joshua gets beat, there might not be if he's to get beat, there might not be no way for Joshua to work it out. I mean, he says he comes back and works it out, but what happens if Oleksandr Usyk is just too damn good? What happens if he's too damn good and he beats Joshua the first time and Joshua fights him again and gets beat again by him? What happens if Josh dead? No surprise with Mike. Surprise with Lennox. Haven't heard him talking about anything like this. Yeah, the contract was signed. It's been signed according to Stacey McKinley. Said the contract was signed and they pushed it for not September but November. Chisora versus Parker Beyond Thriller Circus Show. Two genuine heavyweights. Don't know. I mean, do you want to see it again? Do you really want to see that fight again? I don't want to see that fight again. I'd rather see Chisora fight Trevor Bryan, to be honest. Or Chisora fight Dubois. Or Chisora fight Joe Joyce. Or Parker fight what's his name? What's his boy's name? The Savage, Alan Babbage. I'd like to see Parker Babbage. That's what I'd like to see. So yeah, if there's anything else we want to talk about? Before I end this show, let me see if this will come up. See if this works. My apologies about that. I pushed my aeroplane button by mistake. What's going on here? It says, great point. Usyk did gaslight against Chisora. There we go. White versus Wallin. Yep, I'm going with Dillian. I'm going with Otto Wallin by knockout. Tony Oka. Yeah, I think he's a very good heavyweight, very talented. Chisora versus Jermaine Frankie would be an interesting fight next. Not going to happen. Right, I think I'm done here. Am I done? Yeah, I think I'm done. I think there's anything else to talk about now. Thank you all so much for watching BWTM Sports again. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. Please leave your comments in the comment section. And I'll be back tomorrow for the weigh-in for Joshua versus Usyk. I hope that Joshua switches from being the president of boxing to being the unified heavyweight champion of the world and conducts himself in that way. Do you think Callum Smith can do damage at light heavyweight? Unless Buddy McGirt has done serious changes to Callum Smith. As soon as you put pressure on Callum Smith, he just does that. So he's got no inside game. His inside game is worse than Usyk's. He just does that when you put pressure on him. So I hope that McGirt has taught him,
better how to fight inside, because he needs to learn how to fight on the inside or to fight better on the outside and keep distance. McGurk's a good trainer, but we'll see. I like Callum Smith. Always liked Callum Smith. Can he do damage at light heavyweight? Don't know. Let's see what he does against his opponent before we go any further than how he looks. So sometimes people move up to a higher weight division and they punch better and they become physically stronger. Sometimes they move up in weight and they find that the guys that are coming down from like heavyweight or cruiserweight are physically stronger. So the benefits or the advantages Callum Smith may have had a super middleweight, he might not have a light heavyweight. We'll have to wait and see about that one. Looking forward to the prediction. Can't wait. Can't work out why you prefer the professor to win. I don't prefer the professor to win. I don't prefer the professor to win. Peace out. Yes, people. Peace out. And again, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave your comments. This has been BWTM Sports. Thank you once again for supporting BWTM. We'll see you tomorrow for the weigh-in.